Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talk. Man, was it an exciting week for precious metals. We've seen golds both gold and silver have phenomenal days on Wednesday. Same on Thursday. Friday, we didn't really see much out of silver. We saw gold go a little bit higher. I think that's really interesting, what we're seeing right now. And the most interesting thing is, essentially, we're going to talk about that today, is as I was driving somewhere today, I was listening on CNBC, I think it was, or MSNBC, basically stock news and stuff. And I usually like to hear it so I can hear their fake stories is what I call them. I hate to say that. They're fake stories about how great the economy is and all this. And when I heard them start talking about gold, I was like, and all of a sudden it just blew my mind that they would be talking about gold and how people are starting to buy gold, with younger investors actually moving into gold. Now, I don't have gold in front of me right here. This is mostly silver. However, I always say that silver is usually late to the party, so we'll see gold go up, and then after that, we'll see silver start climbing up. So if you miss the gold run, you can still get in on the silver run. But that's my personal opinion. And some of it's based off statistics that we've seen in the past. Not financial advice, nor should be considered as such. However, I found that interesting. So we're going to talk a little bit about what I heard on the radio today. If you guys enjoy the video, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button, help me out, and leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear y'all's opinions. It's not going to be a super long video today because I am trying to shake this cold. But I think it's important information to talk about. So what did I hear on the radio? So right off the bat, they said gold's looking really good. It's starting to really move up and show higher and higher expectations. But we can't have people moving into gold. So what kind of stuff could they say that will downplay it? Well, the discussion they had was kind of funny in a way, because they were like, okay, so what are they buying? Like, well, most of these people are buying ETFs, and it's a great way to get into gold. But there is a small part of the stacking community or the investing community that's putting it into like actual physical bars and coins and rounds. And so then you hear the other commenter say, oh, like real, like physical? Well, what would you do with it? Hide it under your bed? And you better get an insurance policy with it. And that way when someone breaks in your house and they steal it, you at least can get something back out of it. Well, first of all, try to get an insurance policy for your coin collection. It ain't as easy as you think. And then on top of that, you have to itemize out everything you have. And then you got to hope they're going to pay you on it. And once you start telling people what you got, now, I mean, that information, you think people don't talk about that? Even the people at the insurance company, you think they don't talk about that? So most people aren't insuring their gold collection. I mean, I hate to say it like that. They do have different ways of handling it. They have different methods of security. Some people, the most common way is you just keep your mouth quiet about it. Now, if you're a YouTuber, I mean, like me, I talk about it, but I don't really keep a lot at my house. Why? Because essentially I know it's a vulnerability. When people come in and they know what I do and they've maybe even checked out my channel, what's the first thing they want to do? They want to look at your collection. Well, you know what? This is a real bar right here, but I don't really have a lot of stuff at my house. Why? Because it would make me a target. And the stuff that I do have at my house is always in and out. Now, if I wasn't public, personally, I'm not worried about it. I wouldn't be worried about it. I would keep quiet about it, and that would be it, which is most people out there. But that wasn't even the icing on the cake. After they were done playing stupid about who in their right mind would actually buy physical, like they're afraid the dollar's going to collapse. Now, the dollar is going down. It's losing value every day. Despite what we hear about how, oh, the dollar is the strongest it's ever been. A lot of it comes from the BRICS. China's all messed up their money and this and that. You know, the truth of the matter is all the fiat currencies are losing value fast. The dollar just happens to be the one that's falling the least fast. Therefore, it looks like it's the best investment. But just like anything, if you overproduce it, it's going to continue to fall in value. And that's exactly what's happening to the US dollar right now. But as that conversation continued on, The girl said, well, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, does that sound like a good investment? And, they went on to say, well, it's actually a great investment, and it's highly recommended that you have no more than 10% of your portfolio in there. Because, it's not like a solid investment, but if things get really bad, and by some fluke, the stock market started going down, and maybe majorly falling down, then gold and silver will essentially hedge your bets on the stock market. But it's not recommended you put any more than 10%, with most people just putting in 5%, and that will pretty well secure them. So it drives me nuts when I hear that. And now, if that wasn't even enough, they had to put, so the best way to actually buy it is ETFs. That's the best, most easiest way to buy it, because when you're buying bars, you could get fake bars. You have to deal with the storage of them. You have to order it, wait for it to come in the mail because you don't want it getting lost in the mail and this and that and thrown in your mailbox and someone taking it. I'm like, how many negative things can you say about gold and silver? Well, I was about to say gold and silver, but they were only really talking about gold. But those of you that know, I mean, what applies to gold for the most part applies to silver. Now, here's the thing. They say all this negative stuff, and it's almost like, they know gold is really catching fire. And what I mean by that is it's spreading. It's spreading, and more people are looking at gold, and they want in. And even naive people out there want in on gold. They want to find a way to start buying up gold, but they don't know how. So instead of people like me or these other YouTubers that are trying to spread a message, getting to them first, they finally decided, let's take it to the public and bring it out on MSNBN or whatever the news channel was that I was listening to. I don't know. It was on, I think, 127 on Sirius XM. But here's the thing. Of course, they've got to do that. They've got to do it because if you can't control the sheep, well, at least pen them up. And by them convincing people that ETFs are great, and maybe you only want 10% of your money in it, if you're determined to put money into gold, well, then maybe just 10%. And if you're determined to buy it, well, let's at least keep you in paper gold, because we don't want you going to physical, because when the sheeps get slaughtered, they want to take everybody out. Those of you guys have been stacking for any while know that gold and silver is here to stay. And it's interesting because a lot of times that strategy will get a lot of people, but it's not going anywhere. In fact, it's going up higher and higher. I would not be surprised to see $30 silver as early as next week again. Seeing $30 silver. I say again because we actually did see it about maybe a month ago jump up to 30 and then have a pullback. Now, some people will say, no, it didn't go to 30. It went to 30, but it went in the middle of the day. Well, they only record the closing time of the day. So if you see silver spike to 30 and then before it closes, it drops back to 29, they look at it as it didn't hit 30, it hit 29. When you look at the records, it's erased pretty much from the records. So it's definitely something to think about if you're not stacking, because all the signs are pointing to higher and higher prices. And I even think even ETFs, even like stuff like GLD, all that stuff is probably going to go higher. The problem with that, in my personal opinion, is you do have a lot of counterparty risk still in that. If do they even have what they say they have? When you go to sell it, is it going to be worth anything? Now, some people will say, well, why wouldn't it be worth something? It's gold. It's a piece of paper that represents gold. If I write you out a check for $1 million, but I don't have $1 million, well, that is probably going to make you feel pretty good. You're going to be pretty excited. Hey, I got $1 million, this and that. You got the check that says it. But when you go to cash it, you're going to find out you don't have $1 million. Why? Because I don't have $1 million. Just like when people buy these gold ETFs, there may not be any gold. Now, yeah, they tell you there's gold, but what proof is there? What proof? With all these gold companies lately coming out and essentially getting in trouble for not having what they say they have, it makes you wonder, what are your options? What do you have for options? Well, here's the thing. If you're buying physical, you have it. There's no counterparty risk because you have the gold or the silver. Now, here's the thing. A lot of the stuff, like I said, that pertains to gold pertains to silver. The only thing you're not seeing is silver is not skyrocketing yet in price. However, we've seen in the past that when gold really starts going up, silver goes up late, and eventually we see a huge turnout, and all of a sudden, silver is just blowing it out. And I actually left some comments for someone today where they said they're frustrated with silver. They're seeing gold run up. They feel like they made the wrong move. But the truth of the matter is there are times in history, and we are due for one, I believe, where silver will hugely outperform gold. Now, here's the thing. If over the next 2-3 months you've seen silver go all the way up to $50, but yet you still have gold sitting around $2,500, that's going to make you wonder what you did. You know, then you're at a 50-to-1 ratio. If that keeps coming down, I mean, it's something to think about. And by down, I mean, 50-to-1, 40-to-1, 30-to-1. Could it go low? I mean, think about it. When gold was $2,000 and silver was $50, you're talking a 40-to-1 ratio. Well, if you could trade 2 tubes of silver, these tubes, no, it's not full. You could trade 2 tubes of silver in for 1 ounce of gold. A lot of us might be doing that because a lot of us have been stacking. Now, here's the thing. What do you think 2 tubes run right now? 2 tubes is 40 ounces. You could probably pick it up for roughly $1,200. Can you imagine trading 2 tubes, $1,200 in for an ounce of gold? That's currently sitting at $2,400. You basically got your gold half price. So it's definitely something to think about, and pay no mind to these channels that are trying to make you think twice about buying gold or silver and really consider what you're buying. I started having a little cough fit there coming up. That's why I had to pause it for a quick minute. Think about it, because there's opportunity in precious metals. Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, please help me out by hitting that thumbs up button. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Learn more about gold and silver. We try to talk about it a lot right now, especially because it's hot right now. And it's a good opportunity in our personal opinion. But this is not financial advice. We have to say that because we're not licensed financial advisors. And you know what? Do they really have your best interest at heart anyway? Or do they have their best interest at heart? Do they want you in the stock market because every time they buy and sell your stock, they charge you commission? With gold or silver, you buy it, physical, you hold it. I'm not flipping it on a daily basis. Yeah, I pay the premium once and that's it. I own it. And it keeps going up from my personal opinion. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys again next time on T-Square Talk. Be careful what you hear on the radio. It's not always true. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.